Jumbo fellow adventurers, happy Monday. Time for a spiritual tune-up. I'm Mike Dooley. I answer your questions Monday through Friday, New York time at 9:15 a.m. Today's question is repeated itself over the past year by several people who I've never addressed the question before, so finally it's time. Thanks for all of you who have been patient on this question. Mike, how do you remove someone or something from your life? For example, circumstances you don't like, people you don't like, disease, etc. Rather than bringing stuff in, how do you take stuff out? And then, this was not part of the question, but it ought to be part of the thinking. If something icky's been in your life, how do you deal with it as far as the memory of it goes? And the best way is change your past. All right, hang in there. This is going to be easier than it may sound. Let me adjust my microphone and my camera. Okay, so is it possible to remove something from your life? Absolutely. But it's never going to come about by focusing on that thing you dislike. Remember The Secret, the DVD and the book by Rhonda Byrne? I had a contributing part to it. Thoughts become things, I said in the movie, which is the thoughts become things I do at the outset of every one of these tune-ups, by the way. The 3 fingers held up like that. Well, the way your thoughts become things is you begin with an end result that's not in your life. In this case, you flip it. You begin with your desired outcome, and in this case, that outcome will not include the person you're thinking of. You can't begin a journey to remove something or someone with love in your heart from your life by thinking of it or them. You imagine the end result, your life without them. You imagine that the separation, you imagine your life without them or without it, and then you kind of give yourself the authority in your wandering mind, your creative visualization, to be like, man, it was so easy to get to this place. Man, everything just takes care of itself. Divine intelligence is everywhere. I love my life. My life is easy. Which can imply that the transition was easy. Remember, there's so much wiggle room when it comes to living deliberately and creating consciously. Whether you want to attract something or remove something from your life, you don't have to get every bell and whistle exactly right. But the general approach to removing something from your life is to not be thinking about that thing. If you want to move into abundance, you don't think about your bills. Okay, if you want to move into a svelte physique, you don't think about the diets. You go to the end result. If you want to be traveling with a travel partner, you think of traveling with a travel partner, not the fact that you're alone or in an unpleasant relationship. And when you want to be free of something or someone, you imagine a joyful life where that person or situation is not there. Then, of course, show up, take action, do what you can with what you've got from where you are to move in the direction of that new life. This does not necessarily mean you now need to move in the direction of kicking somebody out of your house. That's going to end up taking care of itself as you create this world in your mind that you start moving towards and preparing for. Maybe begin looking for a new lease in your apartment situation, your home situation. Maybe consider putting your house on the market. Maybe consider relocating. These things are ways of sidestepping the fact that you're trying to get a person out of your life or a thing out of your life. And then when it comes necessary to have a conversation with that person or that thing, you might say, I've decided to list the house, or I've decided to relocate, or I'm going to go back to work, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that. But you've already got your reach, your vision, your action steps out there creating another world. And then as it's being pressed to you, which is what happens when you have desires, dreams, aka end results, there will be these serendipities, these epiphanies, these coincidences and so-called accidents that help you align your life, where you are today, with the vision you've been holding in your heart and soul, the end result. Now, to talk about how to change your past, okay, not quite what the description implies. You're not going to change your past, but you're going to profoundly alter its residency in your mind. And what is the past anyway, but what you choose to remember? Now, you're not going to eliminate the memory of the yick and the ick, okay? I've got my own yick and ick that I would love to erase from the hall of records in my mind. But what I have found is that by moving forward with my life, as we were just talking about, with new end results, diversification in baby steps towards those end results, and by having a well-rounded life. I mean, you may want wealth and abundance, but you need to be working on health, physique, creative, fulfilling expression, relationships. Be working on everything, not just abundance. And whatever it is you want, don't neglect the rest of your life. Okay? By having a booming, rocking life in other areas that you're always perfecting, it's a work of art. It's much easier to not be obsessing and be overly focused on that which you don't like, because so much else is happening. And what I have found is those areas of yick and ick in my life, they began to recede. They began to take up less of my precious real estate here. They began to not even matter. They began to fall back into years and then decades. And then, oh, that old thought, I haven't thought of that in 12 years because my life's so full. So what you want to do is not be focusing on that thing you wish you could erase from your life. It's always going to be there. But you're going to learn to manage it. And the way you manage it is you don't overly focus on it. You just give it its due. You give it its respect. Sometimes it consumes your bandwidth. But you're also making efforts to move forward in many different areas of your life, to live your dreams, to follow your heart, to discover the truth that you're alive in this paradise, being hurled through the cosmos, all while playing itself out in the heart of God. Then these ugly, icky memories, they get so far removed that you never think of them. They're never on your mind. When they show up, it's usually so that you can identify and help empathetically, compassionately other people who might be going through something that you brushed away so long ago. They become utterly irrelevant, and in many cases, they become treasures for the gifts they bore. Because of the experience, because of the empathy, because of the compassion, because of the love, because you showed yourself that you were bigger than what happened to you, because you were able to prevail, because you were able to rise above the phoenix sword again. And that stuff that happened in the past ain't no thing, and which means that whatever is going on now that scares you one day will be relegated to the past as well. So just focus on the end result, take action, have a diverse life, take diverse baby steps for each end result, and you totally got this. We live our lives in the kindergarten of reality, the sacred jungles of time and space. Thanks for the great questions. Please post them down below today. I could be talking on them tomorrow. We are also really excited counting the days to our 21-day lucid dreaming adventure, where I will be joined by Dr. Claire Johnson, the world's first PhD on lucid dreaming. Her whole life is about lucid dreaming, her whole professional life. She's diversified as well. She's got all these other bells and whistles clicking in her life, an amazing human being. We're going to have a great time. Check it out. Pay a price you choose. $29 is the low end, and you get the full course, 4 workshops, 21 instructional videos, a downloadable dream journal for $29. Can you believe it? And if you're not happy in the first 7 days, you get a full refund. You cannot lose. You've got so much to gain. Thanks for being here today. I'll see you tomorrow. Post questions below. Hello, Nelson and Winnie and Jennifer. Blessed Alexandria on Facebook. Nick and Suzanne and Soulful Joy Art on Instagram. Have an amazing, rocking day. You deserve no less. Tally ho, amigos.